Greg Tepper, Dave Campbell's Texas Football on TexasFootball.com. Here at the THSCA Coaching School and Convention in San Antonio, here with the new head coach, the new head coach, the Denton Guyer Wildcats, Coach Reed Heim. Coach, first and foremost, congratulations on the new gig.
Well, thanks, Greg. I appreciate it. Really excited, like everybody has asked, what's it like making that transition? And I have not been a head coach before, so it has truly been drinking water from a hose.
Yeah. So Rodney Webb goes off and he leaves to go become the athletic director at Highland Park ISD. You get promoted from the defensive coordinator position. What was that phone call like? What was the when you found out you got the you were getting the big chair? What was the reaction initially?
Well, when you have an opportunity to first of all, anytime you get an opportunity to be a head coach, you're going to be excited. But to be able to do it at a program that is established where there's a great culture, there's an expectation of winning, a great history that has been built by so many other great coaches and so many great student athletes that come through the program, I was fired up.
So, let's talk about the expectations, because you're not walking into a build or a rebuild or maybe a couple of years from now we'll contend. It's go time here for the Denton Guyer Wildcats. This is a program we expect big things from. Is there pressure? Is there pressure on a first-time head football coach?
Well, I think that as a head coach, that's what you want.
Yeah.
If there was no expectations, then it makes those late night. If you're in it for the right reasons, you're doing it. Like, that's what you want.
Mm-hmm.
You want to be around great kids, great people, a place that has a high expectation, and so getting that opportunity, there is pressure, but that's all right because that's what makes it great.
Let's talk. I'm interested in how you balance putting your own stamp on the program while also, for a program that already is obviously contending at the highest level, played in the state championship game last year, led at halftime of a state championship game last year, right? So my question is how do you balance that? How do you take a program that doesn't need fixing, right, but still put your own stamp on it? Are you still figuring that out?
I think that it's a lot more organic than you would think that it would be, that in the sense that it isn't broken. So it's not where you have to sit down and you got to look, okay, what was this program doing? What are they, what do we need to do to fix it, to get it right? I think that the differences they'll just happen because I'm different.
Yeah.
We'll do some different things in practice. We'll do some different things for games. We'll just be different. And, over time, they say, a head coach's his influence, you'll see it, but maybe sometimes it's hard to explain it. I think that's how it's going to be. We'll just let it play out that way.
You've got a couple of players who are noteworthy. I think the guy that everybody's talking about, I'm going to zig when they zag, is Peyton Bowen, because I know you're a defensive guy. And Peyton Bowen is a star. He's really, really fun to watch there from the safety position as a defensive guy, and a guy who watches him every day in practice. What is it about Peyton Bowen that sets him apart?
Well, first of all, just the type of person he is. Just a great kid, and sometimes when you're given that much talent, that much God-given talent, like, can you handle that? Mm-hmm. And I think that he's one of those guys that really understands that. We put a lot of pressure. We talked about it the other day, and it's something we do have to keep talking to those guys. We have lots of guys that are being highly recruited, and just understanding what the expectation for them in our program, for them on the field, and we're going to hold those guys to the same standard and oftentimes to a higher standard, and to be around young men that understand that and being as good a player as he is, he is a defensive guy for us all the time. But you don't want to kick that guy the football.
Nope.
You don't want to be one-on-one when he rolls out there at wide receiver. He is a difference maker. He's a dynamic player in every phase of the game. But it's one of those things where you keep going back to, he's a great kid too, and he's doing all those things, and that's what makes him from here to there.
You've also it sounds like you'll have a quarterback. I don't know if quarterback room looking okay?
It is.
Okay, it's okay. The guy Jackson Arnold back for his senior year, and at this point needs no introduction. For you, how, as a first-year head coach, how comforting is maybe the wrong word. How nice is it to walk in and your first year have a blue-chip quarterback going to Oklahoma?
You're allowed to use the word comforting.
Comforting. It's got to be pretty nice. Like, my first year I just coached, a guy named Jackson Arnold. It's pretty good.
It is. And, if you're walking into a poker room and you get dealt a hand a 5-card draw, I got a pretty good deal.
Yeah.
And again, you just go back to what type of kids they are. And it's one of those, being in the south side of Denton, and those kids have grown up in the area. It's really important. They've seen so many other kids come through so much other success, and then they just wait their turn. And then every year, every couple of years, you're gonna have a situation where you have Peyton Bowen, Ryan Yates, Jackson Arnold, like you have multiple guys that are not just Division I guys, but that are names that people recognize. And Jackson's just like that.
He's pretty good. I don't know how you feel. I'll say it.
He can spin it.
I don't mind editorializing. I think he's all right. Okay, finally, you get the big chair. You're moving from defense coordinator to the big chair. Is Mrs. Heim worried about your head getting too big?
No, she's not. And it is a transition for me because I'm not an introvert, but I've always flown under the radar.
Uh-huh.
And so it's a little bit different. I'm not, this is the first interview I've done. I'll have to do some other ones. So,
well, we're happy you're spending it with us. All right.
So, no, she just, she is completely supportive. Love her to death. And she's been, I've been a college coach for most of my career. And so we've lived in Arkansas and Oklahoma and Texas and moved around. So, in every one of those moves, she's been right there with me. So it's, she just is excited for the season, just like me.
All right. Well, we're excited to watch the Denton Gower Wildcats for the new head coach, Reed Heim. Coach, great interview.
Well, thank you.
I think this went great.
Well, I appreciate it.
And how about we just do this again maybe at AT&T Stadium in December?
Sounds like a plan, Greg.